All praises to Yahweh Shimei Shai for giving us this knowledge and spirit and in truth. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the hopeful elect. Right now, I just got another video to go over. Actually, more of a message than a video, because any junk outside, the truth would just put up videos day in day out, vines, music videos, whatever. But the men of the Lord's duty is to push out this knowledge and spirit and in truth. So, Dr. Howard, they talked about, the stars falling from heaven, jakes in the world, all getting jacked up, getting their knowledge from the Most, their judgment from the Most High. So, it's a tough times to live in, man. 2017, the year of death and destruction and diligence. It's There's three words that ring well, throughout Israel. It's part of Israel's history, death, destruction, and diligence, man. Before that, death and destruction comes, the Most always sends his prophet out to give a warning. So, one of my favorite precepts is the book of Proverbs. Let me get chapter 13. Alright, this is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 1. He says, "A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke." So, as men of the Lord, the Messiah looks at you as his sons, just getting the same inheritance of Yahweh Shimei Shai, Yahweh Shai. So it doesn't, make it difficult, to understand, to know that the Messiah is basically calling out, man. Bro, just have to understand what your calling is. It's not a big, big body of knowledge beyond your understanding, because the Most High will make this knowledge simple for you to understand. So let me just pull up the Hebrew word for instruction in Proverbs 13, verse 1. So you have the Hebrew characters, the Ma, the Wa, the Sa, and the Ra. So it says instruction. Ma'usar. And then you look at the KJV words for Strong's H4148. It says instruction, correction, chastisement, check, bond, discipline, doctrine, rebuke. So I'll go back to the precept one more time. It says, "A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke." So one of the main reasons, brothers have to be diligent is because, the Most High has extended that hand of mercy. There's no time to be contemplating, what am I going to do? The Most High hasn't given me this knowledge yet. Hey, just go over the basics one more time, man. There's nothing wrong with repeating, reviewing the same precepts over and over, because there's a better way, as you progress forward, you see the precepts much more clearer. You get new ideas. So let me just get book of Joshua, chapter 1. Yeah, these are all elementary precepts, man. That's what the Most High requires. Just stick with the basics. Just stay within your limits of this knowledge. Don't go looking for things beyond your strength. So in Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, it says, let me increase the screen size real quick. So it says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Because right now, you're gonna catch hell. You're gonna deal with the ups and downs of living in this society where unrighteousness is basically the order of the day. And everywhere you turn around, it's always unrighteousness. At work, on the streets, at home, basically, you hardly could get enough time to sit down and get some peace of mind. America, aka Babylon the Great, the whore wasn't made for Israelites, to have a laid back life, man. He had, serve captivity, be diligent in seeking the Most High's word. Try to live at peace with your brothers in the truth. Keep your words few, brief, quick. You don't have time to be, jonesing around and hopping from bar to bar, whole morning, consumed by hobbies. I don't understand brothers got hobbies, but your hobbies are not your main priorities. It's just things you do on the side. Number one priority is the Most High's work. So you can't afford to to be a sluggard. So just give me 1 second. Yeah, this computer's acting up. In the meantime, I'm just gonna pull up a precept real quick. Bear with me one moment. So this is Proverbs chapter 20 verse 4. It says, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing. This is strong precept, that our brothers always have to keep in mind. Proverbs chapter 20 verse 4. It says, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore he shall beg in harvest and have nothing. And this precept was also very similar, with Matthew the 25th chapter, the parable of the 10 virgins, 5 are wise and 5 are foolish. For you to be considered wise, you gotta make sure you have enough oil in your lamp, You gotta also have oil on the backup. You gotta have enough, because in this truth, you gotta cover all your bases, man. You can't afford to be, to be complacent, and let me pull up another precepts right here. Yeah, the Most High is not looking for a complacent individual, man. The Most High needs brothers that are dedicated to this truth. So, this is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 15. It says, but Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Most High which made him, and lightly esteem the rock of his salvation, man. So that's why, the most, Proverbs in Ecclesiastes talks about, the gift destroyed the heart. So that's a problem with Drakes nowadays, man. Regular 9 to 5, that bonus check, that, stock market options, market doing well, make a couple of profits here and there, you know, it becomes a snare and a trap. Folks think, just because a trend of so-called success of making profits continues, they think, they're going to be in good case. Then they start to relax and get complacent, to lose, a sense of what their responsibilities are, man. Because at any point in time, the Most High could withdraw, that so-called lucky streak, man. Because the Most High is the same person that maketh folks rich and poor, man. He can make you rich in an instant. But at the same time, man, once you get that piece of the so-called pie, you cannot afford to, to put your first priority, which is the Most High's work, aside. And let me get another precept here. Alright, let me go to Revelations, the second chapter. So, Revelations chapter 2, verse 1. Unto the angel of the church of Ephesus write, These things said he that holdeth the 7 stars in his right hand, that's Yahushua, who walketh in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks, that are the 7 churches. So in verse 2 it says, I know thy works, and thy labor, and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil, and thou hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and hast found them liars, and hast borne and has patience, and for my name's sake has labored, and has not fainted. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. So, the same thing the elders are saying, man. Brothers shouldn't be lukewarm, man. You gotta be on fire at all times. You might not get a chance to put out videos every now and then, but at least you gotta do your best to, show real proof of that ministry, man. You don't want to be a sluggard in this truth, man. So the best thing you could do is just support the brotherhood, any way you can in righteousness. Go over precepts. Make sure you arrive on time for camp. Don't be can't be an asshole in this truth, man. You can't be getting irritated when a younger brother asks you questions, man. You gotta be ready to have answers. So here's another precept I need to look into. It's from the book of Sirach. This is book of Sirach, chapter 39. So I read verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and wear subtle parables are, he will be there also. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. He shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he had tried the good and the evil among men. So this just, job description, the responsibilities of men of the Lord. Once you fit the profile of a diligent man, you fit the description, man. They say, well, we're looking for a brother that understands the truth. Once Musa opens up your mind and you begin to speak, the evidence is there, man. For a time, the Musa will keep his secrets. And when the time is right, he reveals it. So, folks, complain that the Most High is unrighteous. You're in no position and to lecture the Most High. The Most High does as He pleases, whenever He chooses to. So, let me get another precept real quick. The Lord permits. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. So it says, ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall he be salted? It is henceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. So 2017, the year of death and destruction and diligence. You understand what that means? It's a no-brainer. You don't need a dictionary to look up those words. I'll read it one more time. Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. So that's a dangerous judgment the Most High is bringing, man. People getting smoked left and right, man. The long just, kick the bucket. The most disgusting way, man. Embarrassing. It's very embarrassing to pass away, with all that dirt. With all that dirt, man. It's terrible, man. Total shame. A shameful way. But it's a good thing the Most High brought it to light. So in verse 14 it says, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. So, brothers gotta be ready, to take that courage to the next level, man. Because I know brothers have been in this truth for several years, Some are waking up now, some waking up in the future, some, same months. The others went on YouTube, 2007. Hey, it's a miraculous thing, man, to find this knowledge, man. I won't say, I found it, but the Most High directed me towards it, so it's not something I could take credit for, because the Most High directs the path of a man. It's not you that finds the knowledge. The Most High gets you there. So in verse 16 it says, let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So this all it boils down to, man. Your good works Gotta be evident, man. And the glory goes to Yahweh Shema Shai. So, as a man of the Lord, you have no business, focusing on distractions, man. The women will always be there in the kingdom, the nation of Israel, Moabite women, Edomite women, Hamite women, Ishmaelites, shit. Because right now, I'm not sure I just give you a glimpse of the future, have a vision and all the kind of ladies coming around you to giving you a peck on the cheek, pouring wine in your glass, your chalice or whatever, preparing your food, rubbing your back, running their fingers through your hair and your beard. She, it's it just makes you chuckle, from time to time, man. It's a beautiful thing to understand that the Most High take you through the tough parts of this knowledge to build you up, because you can't be a weakling in this truth, man. You gotta be ready to accept this challenge. So let me pull up another scripture. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Okay, let me find a better verse to start from. Okay, so the 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 19. For ye suffer fools gladly, seeing ye yourselves are wise. Because in this truth, man, you're gonna come across scoffers, man, on the highways and the byways, and be on the job too. You gotta learn how to deal with these people, man, in a very intelligent way, by applying the wisdom that the Most High is, giving to you through the scriptures. I read one more time, 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 19. For ye suffer fools gladly, seeing ye yourselves are wise. For ye suffer if a man bring you into bondage, if a man devour you, if a man take of you, if a man exalt himself, if a man smite you in the face. So, catching hell, it's not just about being on highways and byways. It's also doing your job at home, wherever you are, and get, a couple of, punches or things thrown at you. You just got to take it, man. That's why Bashima Shah talks about turning the other cheek. There's a time, the Most High will bring that judgment upon them, man. Like folks piss you off, just let the Most High handle it, man. So just keep on, focusing on being on the straight path. So in verse 21 it says, I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak. So folks think just because you do not act, you do not respond, they think you're just a bitch. But it's the Most High's, requirement, man, that you hold on, man. The battle is not yours, it's the Most High's. So the trials and tribulations you have to deal with. Howbeit, whereinsoever any is bold, I speak foolishly, I am bold also. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. So that lets you know that, you're going to have foes and enemies among your own folks, man, your own family, people of a nation, different tribes, whatever they may be. So verse 23 says, Are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more. In labors, more abundant, in stripes above measure. in prisons more frequent, in deaths of the Jews. 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day have I been in the deep. In journeys often, in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, in perils by my own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren, in perils among false brethren, in weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness. So, this is what you gotta deal with, and this is what you have to experience to make it to the kingdom, man. This is how your faith get tested. You gotta deal with the enemies of your own nation, the heathen, the lack of resources. But at the end of the day, you understand what the main purpose is. The Most High is just trying you out to make sure your weak nature is being squashed out. Because the time of Jacob's trouble is approaching quickly, so let us keep mentioning, man. Brothers gotta be diligent, man. Because I think there's a brother. Well, I know there's a brother named Karataza. So that's what the Hebrew word for diligent. You gotta be consistent. You can't be taking breaks. There's no vacation doing the Most High's work. You don't have time to be saying, well, you're going to take a break because the weather is not cooperating. I mean, there are moments when you're out there doing the work on the highways and byways in the cold. I feel as if the cold is talking back to you, say, Shalom Akim. It's been a while, you better showed up. But, I'm glad you're out here. So see if you understand what it means to be out there, man. You don't get distracted because the weather is not conducive to your flesh. But in the spirit, it's just a workout, man. Brothers that are into CrossFit, like to do all that cardio and stretches. It's a very fulfilling thing, man, to get into these precepts, man. Just like you're working on spiritual growth. There's nothing wrong, in getting in shape, eating healthy, and doing your research, understanding the purpose of the herbs and the fruits. So that way, when it's time to take care of your health and take care of your family's health, praying to Yahweh Shema Shai, you know how to handle issues. Yeah, you can't be out there, being ignorant of not knowing how to take care of your health. Brothers post videos of different herbs and spices that they use. Brothers learn how to make homemade cream, shampoo and all that stuff, smoothies. So, in this truth, man, you can't be ignorant. You have to be well versed, as you're moving forward. So, let me get another precept. So this is Psalms chapter 25, verse 5. Actually, let me get, okay, let me start from verse 1. Psalms chapter 25, verse 1, the Psalm of David. Unto thee, O Yahweh, do I lift up my soul, O my power. I trust in thee, let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies triumph over me. Yea, let none that wait on thee be ashamed. Let them be ashamed which transgress without cause. Shew me thy ways, O Lord. Teach me thy paths. Read verse 4 one more time. Show me thy ways, O Yahweh. Teach me thy paths. Lead me in thy truth and teach me. For thou art the power of my salvation. On thee do I wait all the day. So that's the same thing, you have in Matthew the 25th chapter for the virgins, they're waiting on the bridegroom. So I read Psalm 25 verse 5 one more time. It says, lead me in thy truth and teach me, for thou art the power of my salvation. On thee do I wait all the day. So as a watchman, you gotta be, circumspect, man, paying attention at all times. Then one of my favorite chapters, Matthew the 24th chapter. So in this Matthew chapter 24 verse 42, it says, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth cometh. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Verse 44, therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord had made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Verse 45, read one more time. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord had made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? So if you're brother in authority in the camp, you always gotta be ready and responsible, man, to give out this knowledge without reservation, man. You gotta be ready and on point. Verse 46, blessed is the servant whom his Lord when it cometh finds so doing. So this verse 46 is a very verse I hold daily. Yeah, it's a heavy verse that I heard in a vision a couple of years ago. So it's one of those precepts I tend the Most High for. It's like when you're sleeping at night, the Most High opens up your mind, and all of a sudden He just drops that scripture in there, and then you wake up. Let me look at what's in Matthew chapter 24, verse 46. And then you see, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. So it's one of those beautiful moments I have in the truth. The Most High gives you visions, and then all of a sudden, your mind is racing, your heart is pumping. You look at the precept and like, what's going on? You have visions. While you're on the job, see things just slow down. I see the Most High just pulled a curtain right in front of you, and then you start seeing a glimpse, of the saints, dressed in white with a glowing appearance. It's one of those things, man. You gotta be grateful for when in this truth. The Most High always give you an opportunity to see what the kingdom will look like. And you see the planets in the background. It's it's one of those things that make you smile. So 2017, the years of death, destruction, and diligence, man. As a man of the Lord, you can't lose your focus, man. You gotta know exactly what the Most High brought you to do here upon this earth. You understand you're just a pilgrim, but at the end of the whole journey, you gotta get that reward. So let me pull up another precept. Yeah, my computer is currently acting up. It's all Satan anyway. So what can I do? You can't be saying just because your computer is having issues doesn't mean you shouldn't find another way to make a video. It doesn't always have to be a video. It could be an audio. So this is Psalms chapter 19. Okay. It's a precept talking about a destruction. Alright, and then the protection, the Most High keep a hedge around his men. So this is Psalms chapter 91. I'm going to read verse 1 all the way down. It says, He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. The destruction is on its way. World War III is already here. So all these, sound bites between NATO and Russia, America, China, Japan, and the Arab nations, it's getting heated up. Verse 4, He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler. So when all hell's breaking loose, man, the Most High give His angels charge over you. You have no reason to be afraid. You'll be amazed at what the Most High could do, just to keep you safe. Brothers have testimonies of coming in contact with angels. The angels are not just regular men. It looks strange. You have a heavy, serious countenance about them. In verse 5 it says, Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Verse 8, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. Yep, so let me just read verse 10. I could stop at 9, but let me just read 10. Verse 10, There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So, let me read verse 11. For He shall give His angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. So, the Most High is very merciful, man. There's nothing the Most High wouldn't do to keep His sons safe, man. He's a just power. And then let me pull up another precept. This is another nice one. So this is Habakkuk chapter 3. I'm going to start by 2. So Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 1. A prayer of Habakkuk the prophet upon Shigionoth. O Yahweh, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Yahweh, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known in wrath, remember mercy. So that's what the elect, the men of the Lord are always praying for. The Most High have mercy, because the brother can't deliver himself, man. No man, of the 144,000 or 1/3 went on that cross to bear the sins of the whole nation, besides Yahushai. So that's why it's referred to as the Lamb that taketh away the sin, the iniquity of the nation of Israel. So that's a beautiful thing, man. It's a humbling perspective to understand that, that Yahweh Shai has all your bases covered for you. And I have another precept to bring out. Just give me one more second. Let me pull up this precept. Yeah, so this is a reward of serving the Most High. Yeah, once you get through this, death and destruction that's coming our ways. So it says in Isaiah 65 verse 19. If I go up some more, to be it's all right, but let me just go the way back to 19. Actually, let me do 18. Isaiah 65 verse 18. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. Verse 20. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit thereof. They shall not build and another inhabit, they shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are, the days of my people. Let me read one more time. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of Yahweh. and their offspring with them. So that's exactly, what the men of the Lord are looking forward to, man. That's a penny, that reward, the kingdom. So, death and destruction, I mean, it's part of this journey. You just gotta be diligent to get to over to the other side. It's not by the power of your hands. It's by Shima Shai. So let me read another precept real quick. All right, so this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, and I'll read out. I'll start from 15. I'm going to end with this precept. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 15. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. So, I have no other better precepts to end on, but just this one. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, from verse 15 all the way to 18. So with that, say all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai for giving me this knowledge, as well as the brothers, the elders, and the apostles of Great Millstone that have been, I would say diligent. That's a buzzword that should be in every brother's mind this year. Death and destruction on its way. Brothers gotta be diligent, man. 2017, you have no other option to be diligent, man. Otherwise, you're gonna be found wanting, man. As a man of the Lord, you gotta be on point. You gotta be ready at all times. So, all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai, the bonus elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and men of the Lord out there. Stay sincere and stay humble. Shalom.